Good morning everyone and welcome back to another one of my trip reports. This morning I find myself here in Melbourne and I've just left the hotel you see behind me, the Radisson Flagstaff Gardens Hotel here in the middle of Melbourne City. I'm on my way back to Adelaide this morning. The initial plan was for me to head back there on the overland train and obviously Melbourne was in lockdown for quite a fair bit. So train services was all cancelled and they've cancelled the train service and they've replaced it with the bus. I'm like, what the hell? I want to go on a train so I can experience it, but they've very happily cancelled it, just giving us an email, not even giving us an option to take a credit or to cancel it. Well, anyway, we have decided not to go on a train and to fly back to Adelaide instead. So the flight back to Adelaide will be with QANTAS in economy class. Quick, simple, predictable, and hopefully an uneventful flight. So I'm on my way to the Southern Cross station now to take a bus to the airport. So the next stop after this will be the QANTAS Club. I'll see you at the airport.
The Sky Bus is an extremely convenient and affordable way of getting to and from the airports servicing the city of Melbourne. You can choose to go up north to Tullamarine, where I'm headed today, or south towards Avalon Airport. This journey normally takes about 20 minutes, but in peak hour traffic, it can take a lot longer. For a city as populous as Melbourne, I feel its airport transport options are pretty third world and comes across as an afterthought. Am I going to be flamed for this opinion? You tell me. On this day in July, the entire country was on lockdown, so unrestricted travel was only possible between the states of Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania. Therefore, the airport was eerily quiet. Pretty much looked abandoned from whichever way you saw it. Perfect time to break out into a TikTok routine perhaps? The ghost town situation continued at the lounge with hardly a crowd in sight. Understandably, even the catering was dialed back a few notches since so little people were allowed to fly. That being said, whatever food that was being served during my time there was adequate.
Well, hi guys, here is the lounge situation here at Melbourne. This is the QANTAS Club that I'm in. As you can see, there's just not a lot of people traveling today, and it's not surprising seeing how Melbourne in Victoria is locked out from pretty much the rest of the country except South Australia, Tasmania, New South Wales and the ACT. So not a lot of people are traveling, and because of the drastic reduction in passenger numbers, even the catering is pretty much pared back. So we had breakfast earlier on, so there was just fruit salad, a bowl of salad, bread rolls with ham and cheese, so there wasn't much on offer. So they are just changing over to lunch at the moment, so I'm curious to see what they have in store for us as far as lunch is concerned. Yeah, so if you are in lockdown in Australia, you're pretty much stuck at home. You can't go anywhere unless you're going out for essential stuff like to the supermarket and things like that. Yeah, so very, very quiet. This is a lounge situation.
I was told showers are no longer available at the lounges until further notice due to COVID-19. But they seemed to be open while I was there. Amenities like towels were placed there for the next person to use. So what's the deal here? Are they available? Not available? Boarding today was via Gate 24, the last aerobridge gate from the easternmost finger pier at the airport. Whenever I fly economy class, I choose the last few rows since boarding will always be called first for those seats. That way, if needed, I can have first dibs of the overhead baggage space. We're almost 2 years into this pandemic, and you'd think the airline would be more serious in keeping the cabin clean. This is pretty gross, QANTAS. Qantas disengaged all entertainment options at the height of the pandemic last year to save costs. I am happy to report that they have recently reinstated the full works of in-flight entertainment. It is also awesome to see that they have shoehorned the latest version of their IFE into this previous generation seatback TV. It is a little bit laggy, but it worked fine for the entire flight. Besides having a USB Type-A charger next to the TV, other seat features include a tray table which can be moved back and forth, and a universal charging port beneath your seat. Although, there is no way my hands are going near that. Ew! With the bulk of flights cancelled between Melbourne and Adelaide, remaining passengers were consolidated into this one, and still there were empty seats after doors closed.
Welcome to Longreach, the home of QANTAS. Give us your attention for the next few minutes to make your journey a safe one, as we take a journey through 100 years of innovation and Australian spirit.
This here's a number 504 biplane, made from timber and canvas. You're flying in a Qantas Boeing 737. Sounds a bit flasher than this, old girl.
Flying in winter during the Antarctic blast always brings about some very dodgy weather, and today was no exception. However, once we got above the clouds, it was smooth sailing. Flying distance between Melbourne Tullamarine and Adelaide International Airport is 642 kilometers, and the flight time today clocked in at 1 hour 15 minutes from pushback to chocks. The airborne time of our flight is really only 55 minutes. So as soon as the seatbelt signs were pinged off, flight attendants appeared quickly with their cards. QF 685 departs Melbourne at 1:35 p.m, outside the stipulated lunch schedule. So we were only given a packet of cheese and crackers. I had it with a cup of black tea. The registration of this aircraft is Victor Hotel X-Ray Zulu Oscar, which at the time of writing is less than 7 years old. It comes equipped with in-flight Wi-Fi, and once connected, not only do you have full access to the Qantas entertainment options on your device, you'd also have full access to the internet. If you have the Flight Radar app, tracking the live progress of your flight never gets old. As we approach Adelaide International Airport, this is the best time to conclude this video. This batch of cabin crew is the reason why, when Qantas wants to be good, they can really shine. It was an all-male crew, and they were witty, chatty, and extremely fun to be with. Which is an extremely challenging thing to do when you're wearing a mask, but they did it. After giving out our snacks, they came back with seconds asking if anyone wanted more. Melbourne was locked down and restrictions were lifted a week before our trip. After we returned, they went back into lockdown a week later. As we were up in the air, Sydney was in the throes of another lockdown as well. And as I edit this trip report, they are 6 weeks in and counting, with no end in sight. After Melbourne, Adelaide and South Australia followed and went into a snap lockdown as well. Everything went well in Adelaide and Melbourne, and we came out of the restrictions a little worn, but we survived. Before I can say Bob's your uncle, Brisbane announced they were locking down a few days ago for a week. Gosh, this feels like 2020 all over again. So please, get vaccinated when able so we can go back to normal as soon as possible.
Welcome to Adelaide. The local time is 2:15 p.m. As the seatbelt sign is still on, please remain seated with your seatbelt on. Now we'll be disembarking via aero bridge at the front door and stairs at the rear door. For safety reasons, if you use the stairs to disembark, make sure you hold the handrail to avoid tripping. And if you have any concerns, please use the forward door. Use the designated walkway to proceed to the terminal, and you must refrain from using electronic devices until you're inside. Now, smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted while disembarking or throughout the terminal. Just a reminder, carry-on baggage may have moved in the overhead lockers and could fall out, so please take care. Don't forget to check your seat and your seat pocket for any personal items. Now, you must continue to wear a face mask as you exit the aircraft and inside the terminal building. And please take all leftover masks and wipes with you and dispose of these inside the general waste bins inside the terminal. Once the seatbelt sign is off where possible, please maintain appropriate distance between yourself and other customers as you disembark. And once again, take care if you do use the stairs. And if you can reach your mobile phone, you can turn off flight mode now. On behalf of all of us here at Qantas and One World, thanks for choosing to fly with us today. If you're visiting Adelaide, we hope you enjoy your stay. Of course, those returning, welcome home. We look forward to seeing you the next time you fly. Thank you and good afternoon.
Freedom from the mask. Welcome back to Adelaide, everyone. Oh, it feels so good to be back, and it feels so good to be taking off these. Oh, it feels like I can finally breathe again. Well, yes, here we are, Adelaide Airport, and I started from there, the Atura Hotel, 3 days ago, and here am I back in Adelaide Airport. Feels good to be away. Feels good to get away. And that was Qantas for you during this during this countrywide lockdown. And yeah, we could only go to Victoria, where else? Tasmania or the Australian Capital Territory. Yeah, so we decided to head to Victoria during this countrywide lockdown because that's really one of the few places we could go to. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and to give you an idea of what Qantas is like during this lockdown. So if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap that bell notification icon as well so you'll know the next time when I travel during a lockdown. Alright? In the meantime, take care all of you and I will see you for my next one. Ciao!